What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's video, and as promised, we're going to do a little review or showcase of the RX7 and my G37X. So here we go. Okay, let's start with the less interesting daily driver. This is a 2011 G37X. It is just the Journey model, but the only upgrades I have done is I've done the sport brakes. So I took off the single piston caliper and we put on the 4-piston up front and 2-piston in the rear. And then we have some Stop Tech stainless steel brake lines, which you can kind of see. We'll turn on the light. There you go. And then we got the Dirty Works C Archives. It's 18 by 9.5, 35 offset, squared. And we're on 245 wheels. But the brakes are just used. In fact, the wheels and the brakes are used. The only thing that was new was the stainless steel lines. But yeah, she's just my daily. She's automatic. It's very dirty because it is my daily, but it's automatic. Doesn't have all the sport GPS up there or anything, but we got our clock. Leather, there's a tear there and a tear there. But besides that, it's pretty clean. It's dirty because I got all my shit in there, but I'm rocking a little Mishimoto Penguin. But yeah, that's the G. Oh, well, I guess we can pop the hood for anyone that wants to know. Shows how often I open the hood. So yeah, she's pretty dirty under here. I don't open it but to change the oil and change the filters, which I need to do the tune-up. I need to do spark plugs and all that stuff to it. And then the only other upgrade is, of course, we got a red top in there, because you can't go wrong with red tops. But yeah, that's the Infiniti G37X. We got a busted fog light down there, and the clear bra is coming off. It needs to be addressed. Same with that, something nicked and got the clear coat, but that's really the only damage on it. It's got just under 150,000 on it, and she's treated me good. Okay, and now on to the one everybody wants to know. The rx7 started its life as a Turbo 2 and is now a wild 6-speed swapped, SR20 swapped, and a VE as well. So let's start with the interior. She's a little dirty. I haven't cleaned her since the car shows and stuff, but we have a race pack IQ3 gauge. Turn it on real fast. I love these gauges. I've wanted one for so long. So you can see this is where the gear mapping is, which I do need to still program. This is boost, mile per hour. That's fuel in, that would be gallons. This is oil pressure, and that's water. I don't have the buttons to cycle through. This is RPM as well. I have the buttons, I just didn't install them. We actually have the USB right here, so I can plug my laptop whenever I want. We just have a cheap Walmart stereo, Walmart speakers in the rear. I need to install the speakers in the front. Trusty AM wideband gauge using a LS 4.9. You can see the Haltech ECU down there. It's an Elite 1000. That's the only engine management system that I use anymore. They have great customer service, and there's just not a better ECU on the market for the price, in my opinion. So we got the excessive 6-speed shifter with the Nismo shift knob, and they got some Alcantara suede for the shift boot and the shift knob, and a Grip Royal steering wheel. And I absolutely, this is my view. I love it. It's so good. But we got a fire extinguisher we still need to mount, but I keep it back here because you should always have a fire extinguisher in your race car. This is the battery relocation setup. So got the tie downs on there with the aluminum bracket. This is the power, which runs under the carpet and goes all the way up front. This is the ground. It's tied in right back there. And then all these are either going to the ECU and or the engine. This is 2 fuel pump fuses, followed by the 2 fuel pump relays. And we open up this cubby hole, and that's the power and ground for our Walboro 450. That's inside this surge tank. Big shout out to Tarks. Almost all the SR stuff is Tarks products. They're an Australian company, and they do really good work. Let's see. This is our in from the tank, and then the pump pumps it out through this hose, and then the return is this line, and then finally this one is the return to the factory tank, which has the Walboro 255 in it. And we'll pop that and show you that next for the interior. And everything's factory in here. We've kept all the interior. It's really all in pretty good shape. There's no tears really. There's some staining. We need to clean both seats. And this is probably the worst. So we need to actually clean that. This is from stupid kickstart. So the rule in here now is no open containers. But okay, onto the hatch. Again, we have all factory stuff back here. So you pull that off, and this is the fuel setup. So this is a ground for the fuel pump, I think. I don't even know what that one's for. But yeah, as you can see, these are going to the engine, and these are the ones going back to the factory tank, like I said. So yeah, nothing much to show here. They all go in the little cubby hole. So yeah, I think that's the main ground for the relays. So again, a little staining back here. I don't even know what that would be from, but yeah, just little stains we need to clean up. But there's the rear. Also, these are S5 convertible taillights. So the coupe taillights actually are glass all the way to here, and then the license plate frame is just the back piece. But since this is a red car and the glass is kind of red on the coupes, I wanted more black back here. So I actually like it better than the coupes on a red body. This is a Buddy Club tip. That's actually for 180SX. So I just chopped it up and fit it on. Then the wheels are Honda S2000 wheels, second generation, so AP2 chassis. It's 17 by 7 up front and 17 by 8.5 in the rear. The offsets are stupid. It's like plus 60 and plus 55. So you can see I'm on I think this is an 1.5" spacer. Then this one is a 3/4 spacer, just to get my fitment, which is still not 100%, but you can see I still can work on it, but it's not bad. As far as the body panels on this car, everything is stock. I don't have any aftermarket. Like, that's a factory little piece that's kind of rare from the factory. Then factory mirrors. I had the full S4 lip, but I'm missing the 2 sides now, so we need to get those. But that's the outside. It's all original paint. You can see obviously on the plastic pieces the clear coat's gone and it's fading, but yeah, you know, for original paint. And it's it was made September of '87, which happens to be my birthday, so it's kind of meant to be. And now for the big thing that everybody, so you either love this swap or you hate this swap. And the engine is a Nissan SR20 VET. It came turbo from the factory. It's out of a 07 X-Trail that only comes in Japan. We have an aftermarket turbo manifold with a Garrett GT 2871R. We got a bell mouth. Sorry. They're dynoing a very loud V8 today. But anyway, it's a V-mount setup, which means the radiator is down there, the intercooler is up top, so when the air flows in the grill, it goes through the radiator, and what doesn't go through the radiator comes up and goes into the intercooler. It's a very efficient way to keep both systems cold as possible. We're running, again, excessive manufacturing products. We have their intake manifold, their shifter set up for the VQ transmission. We have 1-inch subframe spacers down there from them. Again, another really good company with really good customer service. We have tile 38mm wastegate on here. ID 1050Xs. Custom fuel rail. Check out toyspeedmotorsports.com if you're in Oklahoma and need some fabrication done or some dyno tuning. We also have the booster delete. Some people don't like it, but this is a full race car to me. This is a Toge time attack car. It's a race car, but it's built for the streets, if that makes sense. So the springs are way softer than a race car. The dampening settings are way softer than a race car, but that's only to cope with the driving conditions you see in the real world roads, not race tracks that are completely smooth and stuff like that. This car has to maintain traction going over bumps and uneven surfaces. But that being said, it is a full-blown race car. It's on stance monotube inverted coilovers. We have the Willwood. This is actually 3/4 booster to get rid of the 7/8 that was on there, so we went down so we could have more pressure. The wastegate is dumped down there. Again, if you go back to the channel and scroll down, you'll see the car on the dyno. It made 351 horsepower on a loading dyno, so that's to the wheels. The engine itself, that's about 430, maybe 440 horsepower to the engine. So we are in the 400 horsepower club. We have, I'm trying to think of other kind of cool things. The power steering on these FC RX7s are 3-port on the rack because there's a weird 3rd port on the Turbo 2 power steering. So we've rectified that, and basically you have to T 2 of those ports to make it a 2-port rack. But we did that, and we're actually using everything off of the VET engine. So the Nissan alternator fits down there, the Nissan power steering sits right there. This engine was originally front-wheel drive, so you would have been looking kind of like that in the engine bay. So we have to take the thermostat housing and flip that around. We got an oil cooler relocation here. The power steering cooler is there. Then oil cooler is here. Some of you guys with good eyes could maybe have noticed those are FD oil coolers, factory oil coolers. It seems to be working just fine for the power steering, but I'm not for sure the oil cooler is cutting it. Last time out on Toge, the last video, the oil pressure was dropping, climbing uphill. And this is a rear pickup SR instead of front pickup, because again, I haven't modified anything on the chassis itself to fit this in. I can pull this out and put a Turbo 2 back in it and everything will be there. So in order not to move the rack and the subframe on this, we had to, hold on, you can see it better on this side. We had to make a oil pan down there, which you can see I have a little leak. So we have Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, electronic fuel pressure gauge, everything's E85 safe, fuel hoses. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's gonna do it, guys. I know this is a video full of me talking, but this is oh, we forgot the CD009 transmission 6-speed. But this is a one-off car, guys. You will not see this again. I am the I said there were other RX-7s that are swapped with the SR, but that's a DET that originally sat rear-wheel drive. This is a SR20 VET with a V, and it originally sat front-wheel drive. And then I went ahead and put the 6-speed as well on it, which to my knowledge no one has done. So I'm the first, probably not the last, maybe. Those engines are kind of rare, so I'm sure someone will do a DET block with a VET head, but to do the full VET block and head, probably no one else will do. But she's just beautiful. Both of my cars. I'm very lucky. You know, I'm no Adam LZ that has 20 or 30 fucking cars in a compound, but you know, one day with y'all's support, that would be amazing. Honestly, my real dream is to at least have one of each drivetrain. So we have the RX-7, which is a front engine, rear-wheel drive. I have the G, but honestly, I want the all-wheel drive to be an Evo. Preferably an Evo 5, but we don't have that kind of money. Those fuckers. At least it's not a 6 that I want, because those are already 50, 60 grand if you can find them now. But yeah, and then the mid-engine rear drive's got to be Ferrari, probably 360 Medina or a 355 Challenge, honestly. But you know, those are all dreams. Front wheel drive EK9 Type R. I've already had my Integra. I love the B series engine, but I gotta have that white EK and do a spoon replica. That's where I'm at. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. Shit's gonna get interesting soon. I'm trying to save up some money, but we are going to pull and drop the whole rear subframe, and we're going to pull the engine again. Why, you ask? Because I just love doing it? No. The subframe, we've had a leak. Let's see. There you go. That's from the diff, and I've had the seals for I don't even know how long. I think they're in here. Yeah, here's one. They honestly came with the car, and the seals leaked since I got the car, and I've just neglected to change it. So we need to change that. When we do that, we're going to do parts by Max, or also known as power by Max, what they used to be called. We're going to do all the arms, some of the bushings. I don't know. As I said, it's a tailgate car, so we want some of that give that's in rubber bushings, so we can still maintain contact with the road. But we're going to do that. Then we're going to pull the engine. I'm going to modify the adapter plate that's on the transmission to engine, so that it's a full circle instead of a half circle. That way it holds the transmission better, because I'm having some shifting issues when stuff gets hot. We're going to do that. We're going to change to a stainless steel clutch line instead of a rubber one that I had made. We're going to upgrade the oil cooler, and go to, instead of using the thermostat that's in the factory rx7 oil cooler, we're going to buy a thermostat and then get a bigger oil cooler. And we're going to build a bigger pickup tube for the rear sump oil. And then the last thing is that oil leak you saw from the pan. That's how much it's leaking when it's parked. This has been here for like 2 weeks, so it's not a huge leak at all. It's you know, not even a drip, more just kind of seeping out of it, but it needs to be fixed. I'm tired of having shit like that. So yeah, again, thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe, especially if you guys have made it this far through the video. Like, what are you doing? Support me and like and subscribe. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the 7 or the G, feel free to leave a comment, and see you guys next time.